Welcome to AI World TV, your go-to destination for everything artificial intelligence. Discover the captivating landscape of AI, where advanced technology finds real-life application. Subscribe to AI World TV for webzine articles, reports, podcasts, videos, live events, and latest trends. Hear from top industry leaders and discover how AI is transforming industries and our daily lives.
Imagine a Fortune 500 company, right? Huge operational output, rapid execution, totally global footprint.
Yep, the whole 9 yards.
Right. But now imagine that entire enterprise is run by literally one single person while they sleep.
Which sounds completely nuts, like pure science fiction.
It really does. But according to a newly published July 23, 2026 editorial and a whole stack of surrounding reports from the AI World Journal, that scenario is, well, it's the inevitable endgame of what's happening in tech right now. So, welcome to the deep dive.
Glad to be here.
Today, we have a very specific mission for you listening. We are cutting through all the noise to figure out exactly why the conversation around artificial intelligence has just violently shifted. I mean, it feels like, what, just a few months ago, people were still debating if this was all a hype bubble?
Oh, absolutely. The skepticism was everywhere.
Yeah. And today, the only question in any boardroom is, how fast can we rip out our old systems and integrate this?
Yeah, the tone of the entire industry has fundamentally flipped. I mean, from skepticism to this urgent, almost panic operational redesign. The window for debate about whether AI is useful, that's completely closed.
It's done.
It is. We're fully in the deployment phase now.
Right.
And the central piece of writing we're looking at today, it's titled The AI Productivity Debate: Why the Future Belongs to Agentic AI. It makes a very sharp distinction. It draws this hard line between the AI you've been using for the last few years and the AI that is currently just swallowing enterprise computing whole.
Okay, let's unpack this, because I think we really need to ground this shift in a way that makes sense for your day-to-day life.
Right? Let's make it real.
Exactly. So we spent the last few years treating standard generative AI, like early ChatGPT or Claude, basically like a highly intelligent, incredibly eager intern.
That's a good way to put it.
Right. Like this intern has read every book in the world, they know everything, but they have zero initiative. You still have to give them these agonizing step-by-step instructions for every single task.
You have to specify the tone, the format, the length.
Yes. The human is still the bottleneck, but Agentic AI, which is the main focus of the journal's reporting today, it's like that intern just got a massive promotion to a proactive project manager. You give it a goal, and it just gets the job done without holding your hand.
What's fascinating here is the underlying mechanism of that shift. We are no longer talking about a single neural network generating a polite email draft based on a prompt.
Right.
Agentic AI refers to autonomous systems that are capable of continuous reasoning through multi-step workflows. If you look at the architecture detailed in the reports, these are agents that can actually make contextual decisions within defined boundaries.
Which is a huge leap.
Huge. They actively coordinate with external tools. They pull live data from secure databases. And this is the really critical part. They collaborate with other specialized AI agents to achieve a broad business goal.
So they're talking to each other.
Exactly. Running in loops until the task passes a quality check, all with minimal to zero human intervention.
Okay, so to make that concrete for the listener, instead of me typing, write a welcome email for a new software vendor, I'm telling the system, handle the entire vendor onboarding process for the new CRM software.
Yep. Just a broad command.
And the AI inherently knows that requires it to draft the emails, ping the legal department's database for compliance docs, update the finance ledger, and schedule a calendar invite with the vendor.
And think about this. If the vendor replies with a missing tax form, the agent actually reads the reply, recognizes the error, and autonomously replies asking for the correct document before it moves on.
Wow. So it's not just following a script.
No, the system is planning, adapting, and reacting to roadblocks. It's just from being a static tool you use to an active teammate that you manage.
But deploying these autonomous agents, I mean, it isn't plug and play. Which brings me to a bit of pushback I actually have here.
Okay, let's hear it.
Was standard generative AI really falling short? I mean, generating text, writing code snippets, summarizing hour-long meeting transcripts. I was using that stuff every single day. Why is that suddenly not enough for a competitive business?
Well, because of the physical limits of human workflow.
How so?
The AI World Journal editorial argues that the productivity debate is effectively dead because the proof of agentic AI is highly measurable, on a macro scale. Standard generative AI sped up your individual tasks. Sure, it saved you, what, 20 minutes here and there?
Yeah, maybe an hour on a good day.
Right. But it didn't redesign the workflow itself. You were still the glue holding all those tasks together.
Yeah.
The competitive advantage now belongs to organizations orchestrating multi-agent systems at scale, and the specific examples they highlight are just staggering.
Yeah, the software development one blew my mind.
Right. Look at software development.
Yeah.
Developers are no longer using AI just as a glorified autocomplete to write a few lines of boilerplate code.
Right, because an agentic system doesn't just write code, it acts like an entire engineering department.
What's that?
The human sets the parameters for a new app. Then, Agent A writes the foundational code. Agent B is specifically designed to play the attacker, constantly trying to hack Agent A's code to find vulnerabilities.
Which is brilliant.
And then Agent C runs the deployment tests. When Agent B finds a bug, it kicks it right back to Agent A to rewrite. They cycle through this loop thousands of times in a matter of seconds until the application is perfect.
And that mechanism is exactly why financial institutions are suddenly processing thousands of complex, unstructured documents in mere minutes.
Thousands.
Yes. The system deploys an extraction agent to pull the numbers, an analysis agent to compare those numbers against, say, 10 years of historical data, and a synthesis agent to draft a risk summary for the executive team, all concurrently.
That's insane. And marketing teams are doing the same thing, right?
Yeah. They're launching comprehensive multi-channel campaigns simultaneously because the agents are dynamically coordinating the copy, generating the design assets, adjusting the ad buy targeting based on real-time metrics, and deploying it all without waiting for a human approval meeting at every single bottleneck.
Goodbye to the weekly status sync.
Exactly. And customer support AI is no longer a rigid decision tree chatbot. It's a continuously learning agent that reads the emotional sentiment of the customer, queries the internal wiki, and resolves novel issues it has quite literally never seen before.
So if you're sitting at your desk right now wondering if this means your daily routine is about to change, the answer is yes. Because the narrative we've been fed for 3 years was all about personal productivity, right?
How can you use AI to do your job faster?
Exactly. But businesses are no longer asking how you can be a slightly faster employee in your silo. They're asking how you can manage entire networks of these artificial teammates.
The human role transitions from doing the work to directing the traffic. But because these autonomous systems are incredibly complex and because, honestly, a hallucinating agent could accidentally delete a database or send a catastrophic email to a client, we are witnessing the birth of an entirely new professional discipline required to build, constrain, and manage them.
Right. The tech doesn't run itself safely yet.
The technology is completely useless without the human architecture behind it.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because every major leap in computing creates a new foundational job title, right?
Historically, yes.
The internet gave us web developers, the shift to remote servers gave us cloud architects, mobile phones gave us app developers, and now the AI World Journal is pointing to the massive rise of the agentic AI engineer.
The architects of the future.
But I look at this and I have to ask, is an agentic AI engineer just a rebranded software programmer who knows how to plug into an API?
Yeah.
Or is this a fundamentally different way of thinking about computer science?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it is a paradigm shift in how software is actually constructed.
Okay, walk me through that.
Traditional software engineering is deterministic. If X happens, do Y. You write rigid logical pathways. But agentic AI engineers are dealing with probabilistic systems.
Meaning there's chance involved.
Exactly. They are architecting ecosystems where models decide their own pathways to solve a problem. They're building intelligent enterprises, not just isolated apps.
I want to look at the toolkit the source material lays out for this new role because, frankly, it surprised me. I expected to see some futuristic, completely proprietary programming language. But the foundation is still just Python.
Good old Python.
Right. Why are we relying on decades-old Python to build the autonomous future?
Well, Python remains the absolute power source of the AI ecosystem because it acts as the universal glue. The AI models themselves, the massive neural networks, those are written in lower-level languages like C++ to run super fast on GPUs.
Okay, that makes sense.
But Python is the control language. Strong programming fundamentals in Python are non-negotiable because that is how you manipulate the data pipelines, connect the APIs of different foundation models, and automate the actual workflow steps.
Huh.
It's really the scripting language of the AI revolution.
But that's just the baseline, right? The reports dive deep into what it takes to manage modern foundation models, and this is where it gets highly technical.
Very quickly.
Yeah. They list context windows, embeddings, RA, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, and vector databases. Let's not just list these, let's actually explain how they work.
Sure, let's start with context windows. Think of a context window as the model's short-term working memory.
Like how much it can hold in its head at once.
Precisely. It dictates how much information, how many pages of text or lines of code an AI can process at one single time to make a decision. If an agent needs to analyze a 500-page legal contract, the engineer needs to ensure the context window is large enough or design a system to feed that contract in strategic chunks.
And what about vector databases and embeddings? Because standard search is just matching keywords, right? If I search a database for dog, it looks for the word dog. But these agentic systems aren't just doing word searches, are they?
Not at all, and this is a crucial mechanism to understand. Embeddings translate your company's proprietary data documents, emails, code, into high-dimensional spatial coordinates.
Wait, it turns text into physical coordinates?
It turns concepts into math. So the concept of dog and puppy and canine are grouped physically close together in this mathematical space.
Oh, wow.
Right. And a vector database stores these coordinates. When an AI agent needs to find the answer to a complex query, it doesn't search for exact keywords. It calculates the geometric distance between concepts to find highly relevant related ideas. It's doing spatial math to retrieve context.
And that leads directly to RAG, right? The Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Yeah.
The agent uses that spatial math to pull a highly specific piece of your company's private data and injects it into its working memory before it generates.
You are listening to the AI World Podcast, your trusted source for the latest innovations, insights, and trends in artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech, and decentralized technologies. Each episode features expert interviews, engaging discussions, and in-depth analysis of how AI transforms industries worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest articles and exclusive reports from the AI World Journal, covering everything from emerging technologies to industry breakthroughs. For more news, global events, and access to AI World Society circle gatherings, visit us at aiworld.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed, stay connected, and be part of the AI revolution with AI World Lounge. Thank you for listening.
An answer, which prevents the AI from hallucinating because it forces the model to reference your actual business documents instead of its general internet training.
Precisely. And the agentic AI engineer has to weave all these elements, the Python, the working memory, the spatial databases together into what the source calls the orchestration layer.
I love that term, because building an orchestration layer isn't like writing a standard app. Think of it like an expediter in a massive commercial kitchen.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
Right. The expediter doesn't cook the food. They take the incoming ticket, route the steak order to the grill station, the salad to the prep station, and the sauce to the sauté station.
Yep.
They monitor the timing of every single chef and ensure everything hits the pass at the exact same moment so the workflow doesn't just collapse. The orchestration layer is the expediter of the AI native enterprise, coordinating specialized AI models to deliver a single, cohesive product.
And that level of complexity is why the AI World Journal emphatically stresses that employers do not care about mere certifications in this space anymore.
A piece of paper isn't enough.
No, they want to see practical, real-world portfolio applications. I mean, building a multi-agent system in a pristine tutorial environment is easy. But building a healthcare documentation system or an intelligent customer support platform in the real world, that proves you understand how these systems fail.
Because they do fail. They get stuck in infinite loops or they confidently make up completely fake numbers.
Exactly. Employers need engineers who know how to construct guardrails. You have to prove you can constrain a probabilistic model to deliver a highly deterministic, measurable business outcome securely.
Now, this AI revolution isn't just creating new jobs from scratch. It is radically transforming established roles. And the reports highlight the data scientist as the primary target of this shift.
A massive shift for them.
Yeah, they frame it as a transition from solo model builders to AI collaborators. But I'm going to push back hard on this. I hear that moving up the value chain argument every single time a new technology threatens to disrupt an industry.
It's the classic tech defense.
Right. Data scientists used to be the absolute wizards behind the curtain. If platforms like Claude can now write complex Python code, execute mathematical logic, build predictive models, and do scientific document analysis, I mean, aren't data scientists essentially being demoted to just babysitting the AI?
It is a very common anxiety and, frankly, a totally valid question. But if we look at the mechanics of what data scientists actually spend their time doing, the babysitting analogy sort of falls apart.
How so?
Historically, a data scientist spent up to 80% of their time just painstakingly preparing and cleaning data.
Oh, finding null values, fixing columns.
Yeah, writing repetitive scripts just to make the data usable. The new agentic systems heavily automate that. The AI agent actually writes its own cleaning script, executes it in a sandboxed environment, reviews the output for errors, and presents the pristine data pipeline to the human.
Okay, so it's not that the human is babysitting, it's that the human is suddenly given a team of junior analysts to do the grueling foundational work. But what does the human actually do with their newly freed up schedule?
They focus on strategic architecture and evaluation. Machine learning has become a collaborative process. The human data scientist defines the high-level business problem.
Okay.
The AI system recommends the algorithms and runs the optimization parameters. The human then evaluates those findings against the broader market context that the AI simply cannot see. To do this, the reports outline new mandatory skills. First is advanced prompt engineering.
And we need to clarify what that means in this context, because advanced prompt engineering for a data scientist isn't just typing a clever request into a chat box.
Far from it. In data science, advanced prompting is a rigorous discipline. It means mathematically defining the objectives for the AI, establishing strict statistical constraints, providing the necessary algorithmic context, and rigorously interrogating the output.
So it's basically programming with English.
Essentially, yes. Learning how to program using natural language, combined with deep statistical knowledge. The second skill is AI-assisted programming, knowing how to co-pilot with the machine to iterate on complex code rather than writing it line by line from memory.
And the third skill the editorial underlines is perhaps the most crucial: responsible AI. And they frame this not as a nice-to-have philosophical guideline, but as a hard professional obligation.
It is a non-negotiable business requirement. When you have autonomous agents making rapid decisions that affect human lives, whether it's approving a loan, filtering resumes, or diagnosing a medical scan, the human data scientist must ensure transparency.
They have to know how the AI gave the answer.
They have to be able to audit how the AI arrived at its conclusion. They're responsible for ensuring fairness, maintaining strict data governance, protecting user privacy, and guaranteeing regulatory compliance.
Because an AI can't go to jail.
Exactly. An AI cannot go to jail. A company executive absolutely can. Organizations demand AI systems that are trustworthy, and only a human professional can legally and practically vouch for that trust.
Okay, so we have this incredible vision of the near future: autonomous software agents running entire workflows, expedited by new agentic AI engineers, and strategically guided by transformed data scientists.
It sounds utopian.
It does,
Yeah.
but all of these software advancements, all of this weightless digital workforce floating in the cloud, it is currently slamming into a very harsh, unyielding physical reality.
The physical infrastructure bottleneck.
Yeah.
This is the silent governor on the speed of global AI adoption.
We use terms like cloud and agents and ecosystems that make this technology sound ethereal and magical.
Right, like it just exists in the air.
Exactly. But a foundation model is not magic. It requires massive physical iron. It requires warehouses full of incredibly dense servers running white hot, which require oceans of water to cool and mind-boggling amounts of electricity to power. I mean, are we essentially building a fleet of futuristic supercars without bothering to check if we have enough gas stations to fuel them?
This raises an important question, and it is where the conversation gets very grounded in physics. The infrastructure reports from the AI World Journal illustrate exactly how fragile this physical reality is right now.
They talk about Northern Virginia, right?
Yeah, they detail a specific incident in Data Center Alley, the region in Northern Virginia, that handles a massive portion of the world's internet traffic. The reporting notes a sudden 3-gigawatt load drop triggered by a transmission line fault, which forced numerous data centers to simultaneously slam over to backup generator power.
Let's put a 3-gigawatt load drop into perspective, because that number is staggering.
It's massive.
1 gigawatt is roughly the total power output of a large nuclear reactor. It's enough to power around 750,000 homes.
Right.
So a 3 gigawatt load suddenly dropping off the grid and then surging back, that is an incredibly violent physical swing for power infrastructure to handle. It threatens the inertia of the entire grid. It proves the sheer, unquenchable thirst these multi-agent systems have for raw electricity.
The strain on the physical grid is immense, and it is creating friction at the highest levels of national governance.
What's happening there?
The source material highlights a recent warning from the White House to PJM interconnection. Now, maintaining strict neutrality on the politics of energy regulation here, the reported facts are this. PJM operates a massive regional power grid. The White House warned them that they must overhaul their industry-controlled board structure to proactively handle this mounting AI power demand or face potential regulatory interventions.
So the federal government is stepping in.
They're recognizing that the legacy power grid is just groaning under the weight of this technological shift.
The infrastructure simply wasn't built to handle autonomous agents running complex logical loops 24 hours a day. And it's not just the power grid causing a bottleneck, it is the physical hardware itself. The specialized chips, the GPUs required to run these models, they're arguably the most sought-after physical commodities on planet Earth right now.
Absolutely.
We are watching intense hardware wars fuel this agentic transition. The reports specifically highlight AMD firing back at NVIDIA's long-standing market dominance.
NVIDIA has enjoyed an absolute monopoly on the AI chip market for years. But the enterprise demand for agentic AI infrastructure is so fast, and the wait times for NVIDIA chips are so long that competitors see a real opening.
Right.
AMD is aggressively pushing its new Helios AI system and its massive EPYC CPUs, aiming to reshape the server market. They're trying to provide the foundational silicon to drive this next wave of adoption. Because ultimately, the software cannot advance 1 inch further without this physical hardware catching up.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? We've covered a massive amount of ground today. We started with the realization that the era of the AI intern is over. The multi-step autonomous project manager has arrived.
The orchestration layer is here.
We looked at the mechanics of that orchestration layer that the new agentic AI engineer is building. We debated the reality of the data scientist's new role, moving from data janitor to strategic collaborator. And we faced the stark physical reality of power grids and silicon wars, trying desperately to keep the lights on.
It means we are squarely in the middle of a top-to-bottom operational redesign of the global economy. But interestingly, the core takeaway from the AI World Journal's editorial is actually profoundly human-centric.
Yes. Despite all this rapid advancement in autonomous reasoning systems, human intelligence remains the ultimate competitive advantage.
It really does.
The editorial lays it out clearly. Innovation still requires curiosity. It requires the ability to leap across disconnected domains, to apply ethics, to exercise leadership, and to engage in strategic, long-term thinking. An AI agent cannot decide why a company should exist.
No, it can only execute the how.
Exactly. Those qualities remain uniquely, stubbornly human.
The most successful businesses and the most successful professionals are discovering that agentic AI amplifies your expertise. It doesn't diminish it. It turns individual employees into high-level decision-makers and orchestrators rather than just task processors.
It's an upgrade.
Yeah. The future belongs to humans who understand how to work with AI effectively, managing these agent networks to scale their own human vision.
It is an incredibly empowering way to look at the future of your own career. You aren't competing with the machine for a job, you are learning how to be the expediter in the kitchen. But before we wrap up this deep dive, there is one final thought we need to leave you with.
Well, this is a good one.
Yeah, it's something to mull over that builds on everything we've explored today.
There is a specific headline mentioned deep in the related articles section of the source material that we didn't explicitly unpack during the main discussion, but it points to a radical, almost disorienting future.
Let's hear it.
The headline reads, "From prompt to profit, AI agents run entire businesses while you sleep."
That is a hell of a title.
It forces a massive question. We established at the beginning that AI has transitioned from an intern to a proactive project manager. But if agentic AI continues this exact trajectory, evolving from just assisting our daily tasks to autonomously executing end-to-end business models overnight, are we approaching a reality where a company isn't defined by its human headcount at all?
Wow.
What if a major corporation is defined simply by the size, the compute power, and the autonomy of one single founder's artificial workforce?
So instead of a project manager, the multi-agent system becomes the entire operations, marketing, finance, and engineering department combined.
Exactly. What happens to the landscape of global competition when a one-person startup, armed with a perfectly architected network of agentic AI, possesses the operational output, the speed, the resilience, and the execution capabilities of a traditional Fortune 500 company?
That intern didn't just get a promotion to project manager. That intern is ready to become the CEO. And that is exactly why the productivity debate is over. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.
The future of artificial intelligence is unfolding, and it's happening at AI World Week, the flagship global event for innovation, collaboration, and transformation. This flagship global AI event is designed to connect visionary leaders, trailblazing entrepreneurs, and influential thinkers to explore the endless possibilities of AI. Experience groundbreaking technology that redefines industries and inspires progress. Join thought-provoking discussions on ethical AI, digital equity, and the transformative role of technology in our world. Build meaningful connections that catalyze innovation and drive impact. AI World Week is powered by AI World Society, a global movement dedicated to advancing AI responsibly and ensuring it serves humanity. Together, we're shaping a smarter, more inclusive, and equitable future. Continue your journey beyond the event with the AI World Journal, offering expert insights, in-depth analysis, and the latest trends shaping the AI landscape. This is your opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to transform the world with AI. AI World Week. We invite you to join us and embrace the AI revolution.